How's it going, my friends? My Republican friends. Dickhead here, your Republican big boss man. Got a few things to say, but before I do, let's go to the mailbag. I got a letter here from one of my readers here, and let's see what he has to say. Dear Mr. Head, said from a gentleman here, used to work for the Army Acquisitions Department for the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, worked over there at the Rock Island Arsenal Division. As a division of the Army, he was field support chief of the contract division, overseeing supplies ordered by the private contractors, mainly KBR, which is a subsidiary of Halliburton, Kellogg Brown and Root. You remember, it sounds like a cereal company, but it ain't. It's a contractor, Remember the ones who was electrocuting the soldiers in the showers and giving them all dysentery, allegedly, from the contaminated water. Well, that's still being debated. You didn't hear from me, but anyways, this gentleman writes, Dear Mr. Head, I went up against the Iraq contractor KBR on behalf of the troops and the taxpayers, and I was demoted from my position. I was Chief of Field Support Contract Division of the Army's Field Support Command in Rock Island Arsenal, and one of my jobs was to oversee the enormous Army contracts with KBR during the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. In 2004, I became concerned when two contractors of the government's VCAA, the Contractors Authority, found that KBR could not justify more than $1 billion in contract money that they did receive because of their chaotic documentation and accounting. What is your opinion about this massive waste of money and possible criminal fraud, Mr. Head? Signed, Colonel Smith, Charles N. Smith. Yeah, like that's your real name, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith goes to dickhead. Well, look here, Mr. Head. Mr. Smith, all I can say is, how dare you make accusations to one of our fine defense contractors and a subsidiary of our fine contractor, Halliburton. They couldn't have misappropriated or wasted over $1 million? Well, that's probably the government that wasted that money. Well, our companies, we just make our money providing vital services, and it's not been proven that any of them soldiers were electrocuted or poisoned by taking showers, electrocuted by taking showers, or got sick by drinking KBR water. While we understand by the company that it was the Army that went and contaminated its own water to try to blame it on the contractors, because the contractors were just trying to do their jobs. How dare you say they were trying to poison our troops or electrocute our troops? Where is your evidence, Mr. Smith? Where's your loyalty and your patriotism? What about $1 billion that went missing or can't be accounted for? Well, that's just too dang bad. Well, they're looting the treasury. Why, there's over $12 billion they can't account for during that war in Iraq. How dare you blame the contractors? We're just over there making our money. And that's our job, to take care of the troops and to make our money. Their money. That's right. As far as anyone keeping an accurate accounting of how much money we made supplying the soldiers with everything they need there, will you just keep going crying to your government auditor there, Mr. Smith? You keep going ahead and scratch your head and scratch your balls and try to figure it out? Because we got in, we got out, we made our money, and we're out of there. Now, there's a few troops left over there in Iraq and a few more over in Afghanistan there, but we make our money doing our jobs. We're still doing our jobs. How dare you go around saying we're misappropriating millions and billions of dollars? We're just charging that kind of money because it's expensive. The logistics to get them supplies halfway around the world to our troops. Wake up, Mr. Smith. You ain't in Washington no more. That's all I got to say about that. Because I'm Dick Head, your big boss Republican. And you ain't even rich enough to be a Republican, Mr. Smith. Got another letter here. This is from Mr. Thatcher, an organic farmer. He's concerned about genetically engineered crops. Dear Mr. Head, I live in the breadbasket in Nebraska. I'm concerned that Monsanto's patent that's just been approved by the Food Drug Administration for genetically modified alfalfa. It's Roundup resistant to their weed killer Roundup, and who knows what else is resistant to. I'm concerned that the government is a fully owned subsidiary of Monsanto, the way they approved these patents for genetically modified food products. Once they get the modified corn and alfalfa and different grains into the food supply of the livestock, that's the end of organic beef available to Americans, and it's harder and harder to make a living as an organic farmer anywhere around these farms and ranches where they use this genetically modified seed that Monsanto has patented. They got police, they go and they inspect neighbors' farms to see if the wheat or alfalfa or grains have been crossbred with any Monsanto's precious patented seed, and if so, they file lawsuits against their neighbors for using their genetically modified super seeds, even if they blow into the neighbor's farm fields by accident. What do you think about that, Mr. Head? Signed, Mr. Thatcher, organic farmer, Nebraska. Well, whoop-de-doo, Mr. Thatcher. Good for you, you lily-loving, tree-hugging, organic farmer trying to grow organic produce and raise organic livestock. Well, good luck with your simple and pure lifestyle. You sure are simple-minded. Don't you know we need genetically modified foods? We gotta have pest-resistant, drug-resistant foods and animals, because do you know how many cattle get crammed into a livestock pen? How many antibiotics them farmers have to feed that damn cattle to keep them healthy? Damn, we gotta give them all the help they can get. Them damn bacteria and virus, they breed so fast, they're winning the battle, don't you know? Them germs out there that are resistant to every damn antibiotic on earth. That's why we let Monsanto, them different companies have their super seed patents, because they're growing crops that are resistant to different pests and probably to different pathogens and viruses and bacteria, and we need that genetically modified superfood. Help improve our immune systems, don't you know? That's what's going on. They're helping fight the fight against super germs. So what if the germs eventually win the battle? Germs are going to win the battle anyway. We can't keep up with all them germs and as fast as they mutate. All we can do is let our scientists have their way and play God, and so what if a few seeds float on over into the neighbors' farms? Neighbors ain't going to get sued. They ain't got no money to pay up anyways. Ain't no big deal. Don't you worry about the superfoods and super seeds, Mr. Thatcher. Your farms will be just fine. So what if you can't call it organic? That stuff's all boring. Get yourself some of that super seed and start growing superfoods. That's all I can say about that. Hell, you'll even make more money. You want to make more money, don't you, Thatcher? Just call it superfood. So what if it's not organic? I seen your organic food with all its bug bites and bruises because you don't use no pesticides. Think I want to be eating pre-eating, pest-eating food? Hell no. I want my food to be pest-free. I'll take my superfood over your organic, lily-loving, tree-hugging, organic food any day. Why, I'll bet you I'm already eating that superfood right now. I buy it from the supermarket. And I'm sure they're selling super seed, superfood. They're selling nuked food, microwave food, irradiated, freeze-dried food, and I ain't been sick in years. I even drink tap water. It's good for you. Don't you know it builds your immunity? You damn lily lovers, you're getting sick of the first little germ that comes along because you ain't got no immune system left with all your natural foods. Gotta have everything natural. Don't you know that nature can be a bitch? She can be a dang sick little bitch. She can send anything your way and you ain't gonna be prepared. I say, get yourself some of that super seed and start growing yourself some of that superfood and help the rest of us build our immune systems so we can have decent health. And it's a fighting chance of fighting out these super germs. Get with it, Thatcher. That's all I got to say about that. I'm Dick Head, your Republican big boss man, and you ain't. In fact, you ain't even rich enough to be a Republican.